Donald Trump could retire today after 125 days in office, and he would already go down in history for remaking the Republican Party into something that it has never been before. The Republican Party is now the party of the middle class, a space owned by Democrats for 100 years. Now it belongs to Republicans. Common sense is a Republican platform. And we typically don't call people names on Finnerty. We're not above it, but it can be cheap and it can take away from the message. We would never call someone a tool unless, of course, that person was really acting like a tool. A tool is defined as someone being used or manipulated by others, often without realizing it. Enter Tim Walz, a tool, certainly during the campaign. Democrats put him on the ticket because they thought he was their ticket to winning over working class voters, both male and female, but it did not work.
So we were saying, Matt, when it was Scott and I, just the two of us, it was a little different. I just got to see that thing running. I do that. I do the golf ball thing, man. I go right to it if I think I saw it down. Every vice president joke ever made was about to be made right there. That was a nice looking wrist too, That was a big tail feather.
All right, so that's how little Democrats think about middle-class voters in this country. That's how little they know about working-class people. Let's bring in an overweight, middle-aged white guy, stick him in a brand new hunting outfit, a guy whose nickname is Tampon because he put tampons in boys' bathrooms in public schools across Minnesota starting in the 4th grade. Tim Walz, our ticket to the White House. That plan didn't work. And Tim Walz is now a national punchline. But what Democrats never seem to realize throughout all of this is that men don't want to see men with fake breasts exposing themselves on the south lawn of the White House. They also don't want to see men with beards wearing dresses strutting around the West Wing, which is what we got for 4 years under Joe and Kamala.
Just so you know, we're gonna fight every urge not to open drawers, but it's in our DNA.
See, there's John Lewis. Yeah. So there we are on the Edmund Pettus Bridge Steps.
Oh, wow. Honey, Madam Vice President.
That didn't just turn voters off. People were disgusted by that. And into the open arms of Donald Trump, millions of voters went, fleeing a party that clearly didn't care about them. And after Democrats waged war on toxic masculinity, party elites were forced back to the drawing board once again, but that drawing board came in the form of a 5-star Ritz-Carlton hotel in Half Moon Bay, California, where Democrats came up with a brand new $20 million plan to try and win back male voters. It's got a name. It's called SAM, short for Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan. Cost $20 million, where Democrats are going to study the syntax of men across America in an effort to win them back in the next election, like American men are aliens from some faraway planet. Democrats are going to study and probe the American male for weaknesses and vulnerabilities because somehow Tim Walz in an orange suit apparently didn't work for them in November. And again, I hate to use that word tool, but how lame can one group of people possibly be? In another focus group, again, this all coming from a piece in the New York Times, over 250 voters were asked to compare Republicans and Democrats to animals. Just when you think of a Democrat, tell me what animal comes to mind. With Republicans, they were, quote, apex predators like lions, tigers, and sharks, beasts that take what they want when they want it. That's how Republicans were described. I'm fine with that. Democrats are typically tagged as tortoises, slugs, or sloths, slow and passive, which, my goodness, a more accurate description has probably never been made. Put another way, and you don't need an Urban Dictionary for this, and you certainly don't need to spend $20 million. Republicans are cool, and Democrats are tools. If you want to win back male voters and female voters, for starters, maybe stop letting men play in women's sports. How about that? That same newspaper, by the way, the New York Times, did a poll in February of over 2,100 registered voters, and 79% said men should not be playing in women's sports. 79%, that's 8 out of 10 people. So what does Donald Trump do? Well, on February 5th, Donald Trump did the unthinkable. He signed an executive order banning men from playing in women's sports. That's common sense. But in California, a governor who will very likely run for president in 4 years is now choosing to ignore that executive order because he can't seem to figure out what to do.
We worked with experts. We literally were talking to some of the International Olympic Committee experts. We talked to our own state experts. We were trying to figure this out and couldn't figure it out. And that's my point of view, that I just couldn't figure out how to, quote unquote, make this fair.
What? We're working with experts to figure it out? What the hell is wrong with these people? Gavin Newsom, I'm going to give you some free advice. I'm going to help you out. Men should not be playing in women's sports, period. This is not a complex political issue. This is a right and wrong issue. And as Gavin Newsom, as a result of those policies, a man named A.B. Hernandez will still be allowed to compete, as of right now, against women on Friday in the state championships in Fresno, California. And A.B., again, this is a man with male parts who dresses up like a woman and wears tights, says that he's getting ready because he's number one. Donald Trump posting on Truth Social that this is totally ridiculous. I will speak to the governor today to find out which way he wants to go, and I'm ordering local authorities, if necessary, not to allow the transitioned person to compete in the state finals. But unlike what we dealt with for years, where parents of real girls, actual biological girls, were too scared to stand up for their own daughters because of the backlash from the media and Democrats, things are changing, even in places as awful and blue as California. And one mother who has a real daughter confronted A.B.'s mother in a way that we are now seeing more and more of. Take a look.
Girls are girls. This son does not belong competing against those girls, period. What a coward of a woman you are allowing that. What a coward telling girls to go and compete against a boy? How embarrassing. You want a boy. How many people support the boy competing against the girls? Nobody. No. Don't tell me to shut up. I was respectful to you.
Okay, we applaud that mother. That takes guts. That takes courage to do something like that. We applaud that mother for doing that. We've invited her on this show. But this is a right versus wrong issue, and Democrats just can't figure that out. You remember when Joe Biden referred to Trump supporters as garbage right before the election in November? Do you remember what Donald Trump did in response?
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. I just wanted to let you know that 250 million people, that's what I think the real number is for making America great again. 250 million, the real number. They don't think in terms of garbage, okay? They don't use terms like that.
So that's why Donald Trump won over the middle class. That's why he won over men and women and everybody else. But for some reason, the two most out-of-touch groups in this country, Democrats in Washington and the legacy media, still 7 months after the election, can't seem to figure that out.